Frankfurt, Germany is full of beautiful parks and busy streets, lots of people, ancient buildings and postmodern skyscrapers. It's home to the world's largest book fair and the world's largest auto show. The sights and sounds of Frankfurt and mission around the world coming up next. Hello and welcome to today's program, coming to you from the city of Frankfurt in Germany. Frankfurt is one of Europe's financial centers. It's a wealthy city, but apparently things weren't always that way, because back in 1868, the citizens wanted to have a bridge that would connect the city center to the southern districts. But the government said, as so many governments have said since, sorry, we don't have the money. So the good citizens took the matter into their own hands, they raised their own funds, and they built this bridge. And today it is still used, linking across the river. It's a reminder to us of the power of the people, when people don't let decisions made at a distance govern their lives, but they take things into their own hands with their own initiative and take their own responsibility. And we see this happen in the history of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, when lay people have taken their own initiative under the guidance of God to take mission into their own hands, to take those steps of faith that have made a difference, to start new congregations in new areas, to take the gospel message to different places around the world. First up on today's program, we're going to travel to the Amazon region of Brazil, where we'll see highly trained people build bridges to the people of that area.
Leo and Jessie Hollowell renounced family, friends, and the comforts of home. They traveled to a distant land to serve the people along the Amazon River. Throughout their 30 years of work, it's estimated that 250,000 people were served. And their legacy lives on. For 85 years, the Seventh-day Adventist Church has sponsored workers to operate Luzero boats in the Amazon River to bring hope, health, and healing to the people. The Amazon River system includes an estimated 38,000 miles of waterways and passages. When Leo and Jessie first arrived here, they found poverty, superstition, and sickness along the banks. So in 1931, Leo designed and built a boat that he named Luzero, or the Light Bearer. This was an efficient way for them to begin a medical missionary program in the Amazon region. The Luzero boat today is still the most efficient way for serving the people. Through the years, many Luzero boats have come and gone, transporting medical missionaries and supplies. The fleet is now expanded to Luzeros 26 and 27, 2 launches in the original size, with sleeping rooms for doctors to stay overnight. There are also 2 smaller and faster boats used during emergency situations. They are called Jessie and Luzero Express. Currently, Adventist Development and Relief Agency, or ADRA, oversees the boats and teams of volunteers who come to offer free health treatments, dentistry, and education.
O projeto continua ainda hoje.
The project continues. Still today, there are needs here. You will find a lot of needy people and a lot of volunteers who come away from the city to find happiness and joy in serving these remote communities. They do their best. They want to make a difference and change the lives of people. So through this project, through the Luzero boats, health comes to the community. It comes to their front door. We come with qualified doctors and nurses, and after a visit, we can see the progress, the development, the satisfaction where this assistance is most needed. So it's a joy for me to see a project that is 85 years old continuing on. It's our desire to see more boats, reaching more communities so this project can transform and assist even more people.
The goodwill of the people involved is remarkable. Highly trained health professionals come on a regular basis, offering their time, expertise, and love. They also bring tools, medicine, and a Christ-like attitude that is remembered well after they leave. Leo and Jessie Hollowell made quite an impact in the Amazon jungle. A small medical clinic they established is today's largest Seventh-day Adventist hospital in the country of Brazil. There are other Adventist-owned and operated hospitals in the region, schools, and universities. Their dedicated work stretch from Manaus to Belém, approximately 2,000 miles away. But it's only in heaven that we'll know the true extent of their boat ministry. Thank you for your prayerful support of mission.
My guest is Pastor Simrat Mahani, who is a pastor here in Frankfurt. And I met Simrat perhaps 2 or 3 years ago, I think. And at that time, you shared with me a dream, a vision, for starting a center here in Frankfurt that would connect with the community. And I'm sitting in it now. Describe what this center is, please.
Basically, this center is there for people from Frankfurt to come here and participate or initiate different cultural activities like cooking and eating together, art exhibition, looking at a good film and discussing about it, or having literature nights. And we use these different cultural activities to get people together and engage in conversation and in good community.
It's a wonderful idea. And so you're, to set the context, you're on a busy road here. Mm-hmm. There's a pedestrian crossing right here. Mm-hmm. And so this is a fairly densely populated neighborhood around here.
It is definitely. It is a very diverse community here in Frankfurt, and especially in this section where we are as well, with people coming from over 100 nations. So what we try to do is reach out to people coming from different cultural and religious backgrounds by making it possible for them to get together here and share what they have. Yeah? So one of the things which we do is, for example, in this cooking and eating experiences, we go to different countries. Yeah? We've been to Ethiopia, we went to Peru, and soon we are going to Mexico. So we would actually invite people from those countries and have them cook with us and invite the neighborhood for that, and then we cook and we eat. And that way we engage in good conversations, but we also get to know people coming from different backgrounds, and also have a chance in the course of our encounters to speak about the things that matter to us in life.
What a wonderful thing. So to me, what you're doing here is you are mingling with people, you are building friendships with people who you may never ever have an opportunity to do that with otherwise.
Absolutely. And we are, living in a very secular society here, and as people come here and especially get the chance to participate and express themselves, they do connect and notice this is a place where we can belong, where what we have to share is respected and cherished, and that makes it possible for us to meet actually different kinds of people who come here to the Present School to Lounge.
Because if you put a sign up here and said, we are going to have Bible meetings, please come, the people who have been coming would never come to those meetings because of their background and what they think of Christianity.
I would suppose so for many, yeah. And what we're noticing here is that many people are very skeptical towards organized religion, yes. Yeah, and they're skeptical towards institutions, but at the same time they hunger for more, or they want to have good encounters. They seek answers for the questions that they may have, or they want other people with whom they can discuss about the things that matter to them. And what in fact culture does in many ways is to make that possible. Yeah, and culture, by saying culture, I mean in a very basic way, like cooking and eating, art, music, and good films as well. They thematize different things that matter to us, or set up a context for people to engage and encounter each other, and that is actually very well received.
Fantastic. Now you've got some terrific photos on the wall. What's the story with these? What are the plans with these pictures?
Yeah, that's quite a story for itself. When we were setting up a Presence Culture Lounge, preparing to open up, a person from the neighborhood living right across the street saw that we're starting something here. That person, her name is Marina, and she's an art curator. That means she works with artists to do exhibitions. So when she saw that we are opening up a cultural lounge, she wrote us an email and asked whether we can work together and whether she can do an art exhibition here. And I said, okay, let's talk about that. And I offered her to do an art exhibition, which we just don't do classically, so that people can look at the pictures. But we said, let's take those pictures to speak about life and engage in discussions. So she said yes, and that's how the art exhibition story started here. And this is the second round of exhibition that we're having right now. And at the end of the exhibition, we take 3 pictures and engage about the things that happen in the pictures and the life topics that come up there, and we would engage in discussion. And the nice part of the story is that Marina did not just organize, or does not just organize art exhibitions. She's actually part of the Presence Culture Lounge team, and we plan the different activities that we do here together.
Fantastic. So you're not doing something just for the community, you're doing it with the community, which is an important distinction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's perhaps one of the most important things about it all, that we just don't offer things, we engage people so that this place can be a place where they can share what they have. And as they do, they gain trust and friendship takes place, and it becomes a channel to give and take and to speak about things that matter in life. Yeah. So participation is the core of what we do here.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us, and it's a pleasure to see this coming into fruition.
You're welcome. Okay. It's very good to have you here. Thank you.
More than 100 years ago, Ellen White talked about a concept called centers of influence. And I think what we see here is a 21st century version that is adapted to the needs and interests of this particular community. And of course, we see hundreds of different centers of influence around the world meeting different needs in different ways. Don't go away, we'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Frankfurt, Germany, and more specifically to the old center of Frankfurt. There are buildings here that date back to the 14th century. Of course, many were destroyed during the Second World War and rebuilt. And the name of this area is called Romerburg, which refers back to the Roman settlements, the original settlements in this area. In fact, there are still remains to this very day. Next up, we travel to Moscow to a unique mission project. It is a walking project.
With Mission to the Cities, that is Christ's invitation for all of us as believers and followers of Him to engage and to use every talent, our imagination, to then impact the urban areas. I'm here with Mikhail Kaminsky, and he's the president of the Euro-Asia division. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting.
I was just interested that one of your largest cities is Moscow, Russia. And so how large is that city?
We estimate that it has around 18 million population, because officially we have 14. We have official 2 million immigrants, and I think with non-official people who just come and leave without any registration, we have from 16 to 18 million people who is living every day there.
Yeah, and so this is thrilling to hear that you told me a story of one young adult and how she was doing something amazing, taking a hobby that she had and to organize the church family there in Russia. Tell us about that story.
Now only I understand why the Ellen G. White said that the work of the Lord will be finished by young people. They dream a lot, and beside of that, they have enough strength to fulfill their dreams. Like this young lady, when she heard a call of the pastor to do something for the Lord, she said, why not to do what I like to do for myself? And her hobby, as you said, is Nordic walking, or it's known Scandinavian walking. This is the same like skiing at or during the winter time, but without the skis. But it's still using the sticks.
Right, the ski poles, right?
Ski poles. It's provide people the possibility very easily to walk, and in the same time to have the healthy nourishment of their bodies, because while they are walking, all of the muscles start to work.
Right.
And because in Russia, for example, and also in Ukraine and other countries of our union, western part of our division, has from 6 to 8 months of winter, they use skiing for their exercising during the winter. Therefore, when winter is finished, they continue to use the same style of life.
Well, that's thrilling of how this young adult is using her hobby of Nordic walking or this cross-country skiing to impact her city. But how has she organized that? Because it's one thing just to, I'm just one member, this is one young adult, and I love to do exercise and I love to do my hobbies, but how did she organize it to impact the city of Moscow?
Yeah, it was one moment in her, I think, the praying moment, when she came to the idea, and after that she shared with the pastor that she would like to go out only from the church walls and to organize the groups of the Nordic walking in each park of the Moscow.
Now, how many parks does Moscow have?
Because Moscow is a very big city and we have only 5 international airports. Can you imagine how many parks?
So hundreds of parks.
Hundreds of parks. And her idea is to establish interesting groups of the Nordic walking in each park of the city. And her approach is that she is coming to the church and she is announcing her ideas, and in every congregation there is a group of the people who is very interested in such of the activities. It's very easy, it's not require any theological background, and they are gathering one day a week in the location they are appointing, inviting their friends, and they start to walk.
Thank you so much, Pastor Mikhail Kamensky. It's been thrilling to hear how one young adult in Moscow, taking her talent and her passion and her hobby of Nordic walking, has started these walking clubs to then transform her city there in Moscow, Russia, and bring the gospel there. This reminds me, this story of the power that each one of us, that God has given in our hearts, the power of imagination, the power of creativity. And when God gives those things to us and we're able to use those and share with others, we can actually transform not only our lives, but also our neighborhoods and even cities. And so this is thrilling. So Gary, I'm just so happy to hear this report here from Moscow, Russia. Now back to you.
I hope you're enjoying our tour of mission around the world. Next up, the 9 Mile Church in Papua New Guinea.
Located 9 miles from the center of the city, the 9 Mile District was known as one of the worst areas in Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. But if you look closely, you will catch a glimpse of change, progression, and hope. In this neighborhood, a new Seventh-day Adventist church has brought a sense of pride to the 9 Mile community.
This place has been one of the worst places in the city. Nobody likes to come here. When they hear the name 9 Mile, the fear always goes into the hearts. But then we as our leaders, we have to come together, we have to pray, and then those times our wives and children, girls they never walk freely, come to church too. Even sometimes they are disturbed here. Some people are even killed in our own church ground too. But this has changed. In that way, God has blessed us a lot. Now we can see our wives and children, they walk freely for nightly programs.
The current Adventist church is overflowing and cannot fit more people. Church leaders, like Vincent, have a heart for the people here. Vincent is a successful real estate agent who is very involved in the church's activities. As the new 9 Mile Seventh-day Adventist church is constructed, church leaders like Vincent go into the community to get to know the people who live here. He talks with the people, gives them Bible studies, and finds out what needs they might have.
There are very many poor people around here. Even though our country is rich, but we have many poor people around here, so we need to go out, and many people, they don't know about Jesus too.
Although many of the church members have low incomes, they work hard and save to give to the church building project. The new church's presence has already attracted the members of the community to ask questions about the Adventist faith.
And when we build such a big church like this in the center of a settlement like this, we know that we will reach out to them and tell the truth, because Jesus will come very soon.
This new church will hold more than 1,000 people. One of the people who will be attending this new church is Jack. Not long ago, Jack's brother was very sick. He had been studying the Bible with Adventists and decided he wanted to be baptized. Jack's brother was too sick to go to the church, so the members rolled a water tank to his house. Jack had been thinking about the Sabbath issue for some time. As he saw his brother being baptized, he decided he also wanted to become an Adventist. Jack was baptized in this portable water tank outside of his home and has contributed greatly to the new building project. The 9 Mile Church has already made a huge splash in this community through their actions. When the new building is completed, it will be able to accommodate everyone who wants to worship with them on Sabbath. Please pray for construction of this new church building, and pray for the members of this church as they continue to share God's beautiful message.
We Papua New Guineans, we really need to know more about Jesus. That's why we want to ask the world to pray for us so that all our neighboring communities here will know about Jesus.
Well, that's about it for today's program, and I hope that you've been challenged and inspired by what you've seen and heard as we've seen mission in action in various parts of the world, from big cities such as Moscow to Frankfurt to more remote areas, Papua New Guinea and the Amazon. The light of God's love is being shown in practical ways by men and women who have taken the Gospel Commission seriously and are working on the front lines of mission. I want to thank you so much for your continuing support of Adventist Mission, through your prayers, through your financial support, and through your personal involvement. Before we go, I'd like to offer you a small free gift. It's a Adventist Mission carry bag, a tote bag. And as you carry this for your shopping, carrying your books, whatever, it's just a little reminder about the importance of mission. Well, for Adventist Mission, I'm Gary Krause, and I hope that you can join me next time right here on Mission 360.